Grand risings, everybody. Hello, Spiritlings. It's so good to hear and see you guys this morning. Grand risings. I am just so happy to be awake. My son is a lifesaver. He kind of woke up a little earlier this morning. As soon as I was about to pop on, he needed my attention. So that's why we're about 15 minutes late. But he is well taken care of and happy with his frozen yogurt and a water. And now he's watching his show. So I figured this is a perfect time for us to get started. I'm thinking about changing the time actually. So if you guys have any comments that you guys feel like maybe this might be not the greatest time, for most of you, let me know in the comments because I love your guys' feedback. It helps me figure out how to kind of maneuver things. Hi, Di. How are you, gorgeous? Oh, you're so sweet. Love you, Di. Love you so much. I am feeling a lot better. Thank you for the comment earlier. I just read it this morning. I am feeling a lot better. I'm just trying to continue on that path. I'm gonna put my face up so you guys can see me so I'm not so ominous. Here we go. Alrighty. But yeah, so I'm just taking it one day at a time. Just enjoying being healthy, not coughing up a lung, which is great. That high quality button makes this like all the difference, to be completely honest. The desktop's been doing really well, Di. I haven't had much issues. I think I had some issues last week, but it's because I haven't had this computer on in like 2 weeks. So the computer was having a hard time adjusting. But other than that, it's been doing really well. Let's see here. Okay. So you guys know the drill. We have our PSAs. So let's see here. If you are new to HAPS, new to Facebook, or new to YouTube, welcome. My name is Gabrielle Williams. I'm a deviation intuitive for Melody of Spirit Readings, etc. Melody of Spirit Readings, etc. is my face business, basically, where I kind of am your bartender or middleman until you get comfortable with your spiritual side. And what that kind of like entails is I have a bunch of deviation tools, so that I help you figure out what your higher self is talking to you about when you're not really comfortable talking to your higher self. You guys are all like in charge of your own destinies and your own journeys because you have free will. Anything that goes on in our readings is private, confidential. I also do deviation counseling sessions where sometimes we use tools to kind of help you move forward in a situation that you're feeling very like there's a lot more obstacles than a typical reading could help. And I also do astrology charts. If you've been with us on Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. with TJ from TJ the Prodigy, you would see that we kind of have this astrology / cosmic effect we kind of show with a little bit of masculine and feminine energy expressing kind of different topics. And then, of course, we have Spiritual Chatter Sunday, which you're on right now. We try to do this every Sunday at 7:30 in the morning. Central Time, if in case you guys have a different time zone. This is all usually on Central Time. Oh, Di, you're so beautiful. Thank you. And so what I try to withhold here, or what I try to show basically, here on all the platforms that we currently are connected to, I try to show a very comfortable and safe space for you to be yourself. I know a lot of people don't have that in their real lives, and so this is that spot for you. You can be yourself. You can ask the questions that you haven't been able to ask, and you will get the answer you're looking for from your higher self, either through one of the tools that I use, or intuitionally, I might have an answer for you from your higher self. That's just kind of like the go around of what I do. And I thought I'd just give you guys a little bit of a taste of that, give you guys an example of what that looks like. So that is a PSA on that note. If you want to subscribe to be alerted to all this, if you're comfortable with this space and you're enjoying the content, please subscribe. Subscribe on Haps, subscribe on Facebook, or like it. I think it's like the page. It's like the page. Subscribe on YouTube and hit that little bell so you can be notified. Sometimes YouTube likes to take off the bell. Depends on how old you are, so just be careful. But just put the bell on if you feel like this is definitely something you want to keep on your radar. What else? If you're wanting a private reading and none of this stuff seems to be comfortable enough for you, I do have private readings via Zoom. All you have to do to schedule one is to either go on our Facebook page, www.facebook.com/capital, all in caps, by the way, MSRETC. And if you want to be able to pay right away, and get yourself scheduled with an actual algorithm that's going to give you like a code for the Zoom meeting and for you to pay through via PayPal, there is the website right there below. It's www.msretc369.wixsite.com/spirit reading. If you are in a jam and you're just wanting to just support us, donating is one way to do that. We do have a PayPal option for donations available here on the bottom. MSRETC369@gmail.com. You can also message me there if you feel like there's something you want to get a little bit more clarification on. Also on the website, there is online chat. Same thing with Facebook. There's also Messenger. So if you're feeling like you need a little bit more of a like singled out towards you kind of comfortability, those are ways for you to do that. And we are honored to have you here. HAPS has other ways you can help support this area of our business. There's the awards like Di just did right here. There's also different ways you can earn coins here on HAPS. Pretty much you can earn up to 50 coins a day, which throughout the week, that's literally enough to kind of support anybody that you feel comfortable with here. HAPS is a beautiful multi-stream beta that's kind of getting itself off the ground basically, and it's doing pretty well considering. So if you guys are comfortable adding another profile to your list, this is one of those things where we do a lot of stuff here. So if you feel comfortable, hop on in. They also have a guest area. You don't have to actually have a profile to be a part of the stream, which is nice. And if you like what you see and you like what's going on around here, it makes it so much easier if you just have a profile, because then you can kind of like go to your profile, click on the people that you've subscribed on a lot quicker. It just makes things a lot easier. But that's the HAPS PSA. Sorry, my coffee is calling my name. If you guys are not familiar with how Spiritual Sundays work, we kind of have this thing where it's bring your own beverage. So you can have your alcoholic beverage, your non-alcoholic beverages, a Coke if you're into soda. You know, soda is pretty much some people's energy boosters. Go get a flippin' Starbucks, come back home, listen to this on live. Just like little things like that. I personally am a coffee, tea, water, and occasionally, if you've seen a couple of my other streams, I have done Red Bull or a couple other energy drinks to kind of like push through. I am not a morning person. I'm a made morning person. Thank God for my children, because this is the only way I'd be able to wake up early in the morning. And previous jobs that I had to like pre-work my body into that. So if you're not a morning person, I totally understand. That's what replays are for. I'm just honored just to have your eyeball here and for you to be a part of everything. So thank you so much. So is there any more PSAs before I get started? I think we're good, actually. This is good. Okay. All right. This coffee is like bomb. I know I'm not sponsored, by the way. I'm not sponsored. But if you guys have a Green Mountain K-Pod and it says Dark Magic on it, that is the best dark roast coffee I've ever had in my life. That is what I'm currently drinking, and it is the bomb. In case you guys are wondering, and if you guys are wanting a suggestion, this is excellent. Love it. Okay, so we're gonna get started with, I think I'm gonna pull a card this morning, kind of give us something to get looking forward to, and then I think I'm gonna go ahead and read our little devotion that we do every Sunday on here at Spirit Chatter Sundays. But yeah, I've been reading a couple books this week, which is super cool. Knowledge is amazing. Knowledge here on HAPS is also amazing. If you want to check him out, he's pretty cool. Di here as well, Intuitive Di, she's incredible. She does meditations and little things that may be a reading or two, depending on what she's feeling for the day, what Spirit's giving her. She's incredible. She lives in Australia. Gotta support the people who support us, so they're pretty awesome. Knowledge is amazing. I think it's the one thing that the world can't take away from you. You have the ability to go research this stuff, make yourself more respectful and humbled by the things that you know, and this is one way that I do that. So what I've been reading this week is pretty much like a hodgepodge of things. I want to kind of show you guys this stuff because maybe you guys might like this stuff and maybe it may resonate with your soul. I don't know what the deal is, but a couple of these things have just become my new go-tos. I'm really enjoying kind of like getting into that kind of stuff. It's really fascinating. Okay, so my first one is Celtic astrology. Celtic astrology? Oh! Sorry, guys. Okay. Yep, so this one here, it is super cool. It is by Phyllis Vega, and it kind of goes over how the Celts and the Druids used to go over their astrology. And it has to deal with the tree calendar. It's kind of fascinating. And then the Druids gave out sign charts for this particular thing. And so there's different trees that resonate with your birth chart, basically. Now, theirs is a little different and a little bit chopped up differently, but the trees that they have really do actually pick up with kind of the same similar vibe as just doing a regular birth chart, which is quite fascinating. So I've been reading that a lot. It's really, really profound. I think if you're really into astrology and you're trying to find different things about astrology, like how other people did different things with the charts and stuff, this is a really good one. I highly recommend it. It's called Celtic Astrology, How the Mystical Power of the Druid Tree Signs Can Transform Your Life, by Phyllis Vega. So here's her name here, in case you guys can't see it. There you go. And then Celtic Astrology. So this is one of them that I've been reading. And then I've gotten this book here, which this thing is a bulky book, by the way. If you guys plan to get this book, it is actually a lot bigger than it looks on the screen. Literally, it's the size of my head. It's huge and thick, by the way, super thick. This is by another Aussie, Australian writer. She's amazing. So this is called Magical Fairy Tales by Lucy Cavendish. If you don't know, I have like a resonation with Lucy Cavendish. I have a couple of her stuff on my little tool section. She's pretty awesome. This is her little collection of retold fairy tales. She has tons of oracle decks that kind of like resonate with what she's gone through and things that she's felt that like resonate with her world. So like, good morning, Sage. Grandest Risings. We're going over some books that I've been reading this week. I just thought I could show you guys off a little bit. So this goes over a bunch of fairy tales that she has meditated through, and has gone to her higher self to kind of get a better explanation of what these things represent, the symbology of it all. She's also done a lot of research on each fairy tale that she has put in here, and she's kind of retold it in a way that gives us kind of like a translucent quality to it. So you can see in between the lines of why these people have gone through what they've gone through. She really did a lot of research with the darker versions of these stories, kind of because we've lost it through the translations of, Disney and a couple others that have retold these stories multiple times. And they've made it more like cushiony, like more kid glove friendly, even though the reason why people used to tell these stories was more of a like proverb, or not a proverb, what is it called? Kind of like a parable. There we go. Kind of like a parable for younger children as well as older people, to kind of like be able to give them sort of a respect level during that time, like understanding that if you did this, this is what would happen. If you happen to step on this particular path, you may or may not like the outcome. And even though most of these have happy endings, it's not always karmatically happy for the person who thought they were doing the right thing. And most of them were dealing with a lot of healing traumas. So you can kind of see that from many different perspectives. And she kind of shows you some of the magical things about these stories, where they resonate from all the research she's done and all the meditations that have gone with it. It's really beautiful. So there's Snow White, Cinderella, a bunch of other really cool, amazing things. If you are interested, it is a pretty big book. I'm not gonna lie. It is really good quality, thick, guys, super, super flippin' thick. Look at all that knowledge. Woo! Super thick, but it is worth it. If you are really interested in kind of seeing where everything resides in the sense of storyline on that note, this is a good book. All right, what else we got over here? Of course, I love this book. I read this book like every other couple weeks because this book is just a really easy flip through. You guys have seen me pull this out before. I brought it up on multiple occasions. This is The Prism of Lyra by Lisa Royal Holt. I think I can kind of show her name on here if it will let me. There we go. All right, so there's her name, Lisa Royal Holt, and she is an amazing channeler, and also she has done a lot of things that kind of like pushed her to be more of a public channeler for her higher self as well as for a collective called Germain. Not Saint Germain, not to get that confused, but this is pretty much our galactic history channeled through from her higher self as well as from the Germain collective. And she also does classes all over the world. She also has been able to, if you heard of a guy called Bashar, Bashar, that is also a channeled being that she actually got to witness and be taught under by a very, very high level channeler at the time during the 1970s and 80s. That was like a huge deal because there wasn't a lot of people channeling multidimensional beings at that time. And so she's one of the pioneers to kind of push that off. So I highly recommend, if you want to get a little bit closer to your galactic heritage, this is definitely a book to start with. I have gotten another book from her while I was dealing with my recovery, and I'm starting to read that now. If you can't tell, there's a little beautiful little bookmark right here. And this is another book she's done. And my sentences are nice today. Preparing for Contact is what it's called. And it kind of gives you a part 1 and a part 2 in this book edition because she has redone a bunch of different editions. And this kind of gives you an understanding of what her team knows to be true, to kind of get yourself like in a good position to be able to be a channeler and to be able to contact other beings on the other side, but with protection and with conscious awareness. It's a beautiful book. It's basically like a metamorphosis of consciousness. Kind of explains what happens when you actually understand what consciousness is, subconscious and regular conscious. And also we have this thing called Christ consciousness, which is basically just your higher self at a level of very high density. You're able to talk and speak to them just as much as you would to another person. Mostly you would hear them through meditation. Sometimes you can also hear them even as you're walking throughout your day. It's not like your Jiminy Cricket or your inner voice in that kind of sense. It's more of like you from another level of consciousness, if that makes any sense. If it doesn't, I can try to explain it a little bit later. But this book is by the same person. This is just a revised and updated version. Same thing with this one. I would advise you to get the ones that are revised and updated because there's so much information that was missing from the previous ones. She didn't have enough time to push it all in there, so she threw out what she could because you know how editors are. You kind of have to just push things out. But these two books are amazing. Highly recommended right now. I'm really resonating with this author as well as her channeling gifts. It's really a beautiful sight. Before we get any further, this is not me recommending you trying this out. This is just something that resonates with me. Most of these are just my personal opinion. You don't have to take any of them. This is just some of the books that I've been reading. I've really been enjoying diving deeper and gaining this knowledge because, like I said, knowledge is something that people cannot take away from you, that your own self can't sabotage you for. Understanding knowledge and being able to take it apart and bring it back down to the fine level of foundation is a lot, but it is totally worth it. That is my husband. He is still sleeping, so bear with me, guys. Okay, so I don't know how to pronounce this, and I'm not going to try to because I don't want to butcher it, but I will show you it on the screen, and it is a type of tailored lifestyle journey that is mostly used in India, the country. It's kind of their kind of push towards success in their lives. As I was reading this one is the practical one for it, and it is by the DK. If you guys know it, basically it is the DK and the Public Random House group that has made this book. Now it is written by the yoga center that is down in this area. But this is literally, I'm not going to lie, this is the most easiest to understand if you're trying to learn this thing here. I highly recommend you getting one that you can actually understand. This is one you could probably read and totally understand what they're saying, what they're going through. It's a beautiful book. Beautiful illustrations, really easy to follow and understand. And it's kind of based on a lot of scientific facts and more on a seasonal level. They also have wonderful recipes in here that you can try as well. Different types of exercises you can do to kind of continually put your body in a good position to be able to go through all the things that it needs to without overexerting it. I kind of really enjoyed reading this book. There's more to it that I'm probably going to have to reread because I am feeling like this is something that I may be pushing towards just because it resonates really a lot with me right now. That's why I have the book. It's really, really awesome. Okay, so that's that book. I also have been reading, like I said, I have a plethora of things that I've been reading. I am a collector of this kind of stuff. This is The Essential Oils in the Spiritual Practice by Candace Covington, and I'll try to push this a little forward so you guys can read her name. There you go. Now, this one is kind of an intermediate book, if I have to be completely honest. It kind of pushes towards a lot of different things that if you don't know what type of archetypes that they're referring to, like if you have no history knowledge of whatsoever of what they're talking about, you might want to research it on the side as well as read through the book very slowly so you can get the full understanding, because this is a person with a lot of doctrines. And I think when they were writing this book, they thought they were giving it to another person with a lot of doctrines. So there's a lot of thick knowledge in here. So I recommend you read it very slowly. at all. Like, if anything, read chapter by chapter. Maybe take a couple of days to kind of digest what you read. That's what I've been doing for the last week and a half. I've just been literally digesting one little thing after another, just because I want to make sure that I fully understand what they're trying to push out. Because when you're getting knowledge from other sources, you always want to make sure that it resonates with you. And if it doesn't resonate with you, then obviously there's something about the knowledge that is being pushed here that you're just not ready for, or that whatever is in here is super thick, and you just got to make sure you're going through all the bases before you either adapt it into your own world or choose to just, float with it, see what happens, But yeah, so this is one of those things. You just have to take it one step at a time. And it does do a lot of separations of like explaining different types of energies that you may be experiencing, different chakras, what different things resonate with those chakras. And it kind of gives you like the shadow issues or the weak spots that you might want to look into in case there's something you may need to look into about it. The gifts that come with those chakras if they are in good health, because we all have chakras, every single one of us. It's an energetic expression of the energy inside our bodies, and a lot of different cultures use that as a reference. So do people who do a lot of energy healing. They use that as a tool to kind of understand where the blockages are, why this is moving forward in that category, vice versa. And they show you a lot of different things that are really fascinating, like what each finger represents in astrology, the elements that they are pushed towards, what gems would be pretty much good to have in your arsenal for each of your fingers, and then the deities that currently have some kind of purpose on that. Sorry, guys. Oof. Like I said, it's a lot of knowledge, and it's very thick. It's a thick book. So if you're interested in essential oils or just want to understand how people think, this is one of those kind of books. Last but not least, these two are kind of really basic ones that I have on my arsenal, just because I want to kind of understand where the Wheel of the Year came from. This is one of the books that I chose to grab onto, and it's called Seasons of Wicca. I am not into Wicca. I don't push towards that in any way, shape, or form. But I do love the history that this person has put in here to kind of give me a good understanding of where they started Wiccan culture. And it's kind of really interesting how many different bases came from the Wiccan culture alone. However, it mostly started in the 1960s, Wiccan as a whole, like as a religion. So technically, it's not something that, lack of a better term, it's not actually something that, is old. Paganism is old. The things that translated into the old ways are more older than Wiccan itself. It's based on older types of mannerisms with the sense of more of a more religious spirituality sense. But from what I can tell from the books that I have read on it, it's definitely still new in the sense of like it being more of what we know to be Christianity, Muslim, all the other layers of religion. So technically, the only reason why I actually got this book in full is, one, it resonated with me. Something about the cover just like drew me in. The other thing is, I love how they bring up the wheel of the year. I love how she separated it. I love how she shows different rituals. If you're really into practicing the religious side of this, I love that she shows you step by step on how to do it, what things you need. Me personally, I really am just grateful for the knowledge of the little things. And she explains also they also use the Celtic tree calendar, which is very similar to what they talk about in the Celtic astrology, which is kind of fascinating. And then she explains how a lot of different Wiccans use different calendars for their Sabbaths. And a lot of people use the moon charged water kind of thing. And then she explains what each moon represents, the healing behind it, or the ritual that would be most base set on those things. Like I said, there's a lot of different things in here that, one, I'm more pushed towards the old ways of things. This is more of a new age religious act. But I do love the knowledge that she has put in here. So this is called Seasons of Wicca by Ambrosia Hawthorne. So here's her name on the bottom. In case this really does resonate with you, because I really do want you guys to be able to look inside these books and get your own opinions if you really want to learn a little bit. Like I said, though, this is chocked with a lot of information in it. Highly recommend it if you're just wanting to like get a perspective. That's what most of my books are. They're perspectives. So this is a wonderful book that I have enjoyed reading. This is called Atlantis and the Atlanteans, the Emerald Tablets, and Other Texts. Now, it is from a lot of different people, and I don't know if you can actually find this book anymore. I'm trying to push it forward so you guys can see the names. Hopefully my camera is resonating with it so you guys can actually see. Some of these names I could butcher really easily, so I'm trying to be really respectful of other people's cultures on that note. But yeah, there's they kind of give the Emerald Tablets a short little brief little thing about it. Starts at page 6, of course. And they kind of give like little cliff notes on the bottom, which is so nice. It's like, oh, thank you for that. I appreciate it. Now, the Emerald Tablet stuff goes pretty much until about page 14 in this book. And then it goes a little bit further when he reincarnates. So Thoth reincarnated. If you guys don't know anything about Thoth, look him up. He's pretty intelligent. Kind of like a really interesting master of knowledge. And then they go into here and they kind of give a couple different conversations from some divine teachers, or what we like to call master builders, people who went deep into themselves and kind of just like brought out lots of different things about certain things. Yes, baby. Oh, a treasure chest. I love it. Do you need help? It's locked. Can I open it?
Yeah, you.
Ta-da!
Mommy, you got it, Mommy. Guys, gone.
Yeah, the treasure's there. Yay! I'm so happy for you, buddy. Okay, let's see here. It goes through a couple different divine teachers. So you have Adler, Adler. You have Thoth the Atlantean. You have Cairo, which is Cai. C is in cat, by the way. So Cairo. Then you have Eati, which is Etea or Ey, sorry. And then you have Nikifor, which is Nikifor, and then of course we have Odin, which if you're into Norse mythology as well as more of a north path towards your religion, then you will definitely know who Odin is. But literally every single one of these divine teachers have gone to their higher selves, and they are literally showing the God consciousness, at least in their own words. This has all been translated to the best of their ability. Now, I will say, this is not for the faint of heart. And some of the stuff that they have here that has been translated is definitely more from their perspective in a huge sense. So just be mindful. Like I said, you have to look at things from a glass half full and a glass half empty most of the time when you're going through knowledge. Not only just because it may not resonate with you the way that you thought it would, also it might trigger you to go down another rabbit hole. So just be mindful of what you're reading. Sometimes the translations can be misconstrued for something else. So always do your own research. I highly recommend you do your own research. But if you're interested in learning a little bit about that kind of stuff, there is also a really cool recording. If you look up Emerald Tablets, somebody's already done the work for you. It's like literally, I think like 5 hours long or an hour and something. But it is really good. Highly recommended. All right, I'm going to drink my coffee now. If you guys are as windbagged as me, grab a beverage, take a sip. We're just going to have a moment of silence for our awesome beverages. Oh, thank God for coffee. Oh, bless this coffee. Just bless, 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 bless. Oh my goodness. I know that was a lot to take in, but literally, like I said, I read a lot. I love reading different perspectives. That is one thing I can say thank you, Mom, my mom here on Earth, for pushing me to go past my my learning abilities. Let's just put it that way. Because let me tell you, I am dyslexic. If you can't tell by the way I talk or the way that I read certain things, I am dyslexic. And it is really hard sometimes to read, and especially with the print's a different font, it's really hard. And my brain can't go fast enough, and it literally cuts off the other word. Especially if I'm reading out loud to somebody. Now, if I'm reading by myself, totally different story. I get everything that they're saying. But when it comes to actually bringing it up to the public, super, super difficult. Especially reading to my kids. It's so hard. I don't know what the deal is, but if you are dyslexic, I feel for you. It is a wonderful conundrum. But you know what? It makes you stronger. Because if you are willing to work through it, you are going to see huge shifts in your abilities. So highly recommended. Just work on your weaknesses, guys. It doesn't matter if it's a reading disability or if it's a speech impediment or anything in that order. You guys are super top tier. So, okay. So back to our normal programming, because this was just a little side wheel here. Yeah, I thought I would pull a card for us. So I'm going to do that, and then we are going to read our beloved little meditation thing from Daily Meditations for the Turning Year, the Celtic Spirit by Caitlin Matthews. Let's see here. Let's see what Spirit has for us this morning. Which one do we want to play with today? Ooh, I am feeling that. All right, we're going to go ahead and get that one. And we're going to get, you know what? That is a very smart idea. I think that's a wise decision. All right. Thank you, higher self, for your tuning acknowledgement. All right, guys. So my guides and guardians and my angels are wanting us to do something a little bit different. So this is like I said, I have a bunch of stuff from Lucy Cavendish. I love her. Don't know what the deal is. Me and her resonate really well together. This one is called Because I Love Myself. These are messages from messages of love from your soul to yourself. And I think this is really profound because a lot of us are learning to love ourselves again. I think that after going through healing, it is really awesome just to kind of just get a little bit of feedback from your higher self, knowing that you're doing a good job, knowing that you are, as I say that, and one falls out of my hand. Oh, here we go, guys. This is a good one. It's all about change. Interesting, huh? All right, so there's that one. And then we're going to pull a crystal card to kind of give us a good perspective this week. This is for the week, and this is for y'all, as well as myself. Any of the cards that I pull, it's always a mirrored reflection for everything that I am connected to. Whether it be, oh, this is beautiful. Alrighty then. We got 3 of them, guys. This is good. I guess we are really needing some crystals in our lives this week, guys. Okay. So, with that being said, here is the message to yourself from your higher self, from your soul. And this is a message of love. So don't take any criticism from this, guys. This is literally just a little bit of a little pick-me-up for the rest of your week. Compassionate change. Today I treat myself with the deepest compassion. I ask of myself, how can I help you, my dearest friend? I listen and make changes that reflect my ever-growing self-love. So there's that. I'm going to put it closer to the camera so it can render. And I don't know if you guys can see this or not, so let me know. Okay. In case you want to Snapchat that or like take a picture of it or whatever. So there's that. That's our little love for this morning. And then we got 3 crystal cards. So I'm going to start with this one. Kuzanite. This one is beautiful, isn't it? What stone is this? It is a high vibration, lithium infused lilac pink stone that glows with the energy that could be described in a word as cuddly. Oh, that's pretty. Okay, who needs it? People, anyone with a heavy heart about something, collectors of good vibrations. Ooh, that's good, guys. Where to put it? What happened?
Mommy, there's a snake.
A snake where, baby?
The snake in the cave.
Oh, is it on your show?
Oh, the snake.
Okay, you can stay in here until the snake's gone, okay?
Come and snake.
Okay, calm down, Bubba. It's okay. It's my son. So where to put it?
This snake.
Oh, we have another child up and running. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. Hi, beautiful children. Come here. Okay. Can you save Ronan from the snake?
I just be like the snake.
What?
That's only the snake.
She was silly.
It's a snake.
Okay, why don't you guys go ahead and you guys go watch Paw Patrol. I will change. We'll have to change Ronan's spot after this. Okay, you go ahead and get an orange. Start your morning with an orange, okay? And then I want you to go sit with your brothers for a little bit until I'm done, okay? Can you do that for me? I love you. Thank you so much, and that's my middle child. She's awesome. Love her. Hey, bro. Okay, be careful. Sissy's gonna help you, okay? All right. So, I guess that means coffee break. My kids are literally awesome. I love them. Okay, so this is where to put it, okay? This is for the Kuzanite. Sorry for all the fun. Okay, where to put it? Place it on your heart and breathe deeply. The Kuzanites, cotton candy essence. Or hold it in your left hand and whisper sweet nothings to yourself. Oh my goodness, isn't that just breathtaking? Okay, when to use it. Call on Kuzite after a breakup or a major disappointment, when you are beating yourself up about something and you don't need permission to be here. You belong. If you forgot that, pause and tap into the Kuzite's pink prismatic vibration and let love rule. Open your love channel. Oh, that's so pretty. Okay, so if I am pronouncing this wrong in any way, shape, or form, here is how to spell it. If you guys can see that, it's Kunzite. Okay, and this is what the stone looks like in the purest form of it. It's very pretty, pink and purplish-y, lilac-y colors, according to the writer. That's one stone that is going to be very beneficial for us this week. This one is azurite. Azurite is a beautiful blue stone. Okay, what is this? It's meditative and dreamy. Azurite is a soft, powdery to prismatic, rich blue and copper-infused mineral. Oh, that's very fascinating, isn't it, guys? Okay. Who needs it? The materialistic, the vain, the always craving, and it's not a judgment, and this is most of us. Leos especially, apparently. Okay. Where to put it? Alongside the spiritual shovel that you're using to dig your way out of that prison of worry, indecisiveness, and the desire that you constructed around yourself. Ooh, that's a very deep one, guys. Highly recommended for people dealing with that. Especially when you're putting it towards that. That's going to be very helpful to move that around. Okay, when to use it? When the material pleasures aren't giving you the buzz that they used to. It's time to take a break from snapping selfies and chasing shiny things. Shake off your shallowness. Start with your breath and then dive in deep with with Azurite. Explore your hidden depths. Now here's how to spell this one as well, in case you guys are needing a little pick-me-up there. It's Azurite. Alrighty. That's crystal number 2. Now, crystal number 3. This one is my mother's birthstone as well as my one of my daughters as well. Aquamarine. Now, if you know where aquamarine is, that's in March. So it's a beautiful gemstone. It has its perks. Okay, hi, my other child. I have all 3 of my children up now. This is good. Can I have a hug? Hi, beautiful. Good morning. Okay.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing a live, and then I'll be out there to make your tea. Is that a plan? Okay. Now, Emmy's helping out with Ronan, and they're watching Paw Patrol.
I'm super quiet.
You're super quiet, like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Okay. Go ahead and go hang out on the couch with your siblings, okay? No. You gonna sit here? Okay, but you have to be really quiet like a mouse. Can you do that? All right. My oldest, she's super cool. She wants to be an engineer, in case you guys don't know. See?
Quiet is very quiet.
Yes, quiet is very quiet. You're right.
And peaceful.
Mm-hmm. So remember? Okay. All right, here we go, guys. This is aquamarine. What is this? Aquamarine is a fancy type of blue beryl. It is a powerful coolant of the head and heart. Mostly because why they say that is because it's so like there's different types of colors of aquamarine when you do a cut through a slab of crystal. It's really beautiful. Okay, people who need it. Who needs this? People who are running hot, fire signs, anyone hanging onto an unspoken burning desire. Ooh, that's fancy. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Where to put it? Whenever you need to turn that whisper into a primal scream, and if that's a little over dramatic, whenever you want to speak clearly or calmly from the heart. When to use it? When you have lost your voice, when it is past time to let go, or when you're feeling a little too el fuego. For polite company, ice yourself down with Aquamarine's cold shower vibes. So this is really good. And the little key word here is to keep your cool. So what I can tell here, and I'm going to put this a little closer so you guys can write aquamarine down. Now this is for the week. This is the collective thing for the week. So we have Kuzite. We have, so this is pink, purplish. You have Azurite, which is this beautiful blue with copper tones. And this is kind of like a blue-green aquamarine is, kind of. And the reason why they said it's kind of more of a head-to-heart situation, they're not wrong. There are plenty of different things this can help with. However, it seems like these 3 crystals are actually breaking through a blockage of our hearts. Self-love, mostly. Because it seems like there's a lot of doubt with ourselves. Definitely. What, honey?
What's that brown thing?
What brown thing?
I don't know.
Oh, these?
I don't know.
It's not brown, it's pink.
Can you tell me where,
I already did, baby, to them.
Oh.
I'll tell you later after the stream, okay?
Okay.
It seems like there's definitely a lot of things that have not been spoken that it's probably time for us to probably do so. And also rethinking what's really important to us from what I can tell from the crystals here on this. But I do think that this little quote here from our deck from Lucy Cavendish, because I love myself, the healing messages of love from our soul to ourselves. This is kind of that little shaping mechanism for the week for you guys. I'm going to read this again because I really do want you guys to grasp this. It's about compassionate change. And since we are all going through a cycle of change, all of us, this has nothing to do with just me personally. This has to do with all of us. So this is a collective pull. So what I may be struggling with, you might be struggling with, vice versa. It just depends on where you're at. But it does feel from the cards that have been pulled for the collective, there is definitely a lot of people dealing with, am I good enough? Is this really worth my time and energy? Do I really need to stop thinking so skin level? I need to go deeper into myself. But at the same time, I also need to speak from my heart. I can't keep living a lie or hiding in the closet. I can't keep pretending that my voice doesn't matter, that I don't have the ability to speak my truth. And I think that's something that a lot of us go through. A lot of us do. Especially when you're going through these cycles of change in your life, or you're evolving into the awesome, amazing, higher being that you are. I do feel like that is something that a lot of us forget, that we have that ability. So I'm going to reread this one card again because I really do want you guys to keep this in the forefront of your head when you're treating yourself towards this cycle of change. Treat yourself with compassion. So here it goes. This is what it says. Compassionate change. Today I treat myself with the deepest compassion. I ask of myself, how can I help you, my dearest friend? I listen and make changes that reflect my ever-growing self-love. That is a beautiful message.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. We always want to make sure that we are loving ourselves as much as the people around us. And if we feel like we're shortchanged, we really do need to do some self-care, some collective.
Do you remember these?
Yes, I do.
Tell us about them.
I will. My daughter went rock hunting and she broke this with a rock.
I found it on the side of the porch.
I think it's a type of quartz. But
if you find light rocks in the middle of a fan, a big fan, and you just break it with a big rock, and then there's teeny tiny green crystals inside. If you find this, then you will be the happiest lucky person in the town.
Oh, wow. That's great.
I don't know.
Make sure you put it back where you had it, because I want to make sure I keep it safe. Okay. And then
I don't know where that blinking light was when we were driving, but I bet it was a monster driving.
I don't think it was a monster, but I do think that...
Maybe Bigfoot.
No, not Bigfoot.
Or a Sasquatch came into town.
No, not a Sasquatch. Okay, calm down, beautiful.
They're not crazy.
No, they're not. They're nice.
I never touched one before.
Well, you could ask.
I'm scared.
Don't be scared.
I saw a leaf swinging.
All right, guys, we're going to go into our meditation, and then I think we will end it there because, as you can tell, my kids are definitely needing my undivided attention. So
I'm having light tea with sugar.
You're going to have some tea with sugar. Yep.
It's my favorite.
She loves tea, so we're having a little tea moment this morning. Okay, so where are we at? The 22nd of August. Ooh, studying with intention. How ironic, because we have just gone through a crap ton of books that I've been reading this week.
She has so many books that
I do. I have a lot of books. Haven is very correct on that. Okay, now Haven, you have to be quiet on this part, okay? I love you. So this is from The Celtic Spirit by Caitlin Matthews. And I'll crush her little face right there. It's with an I and not with a Y. There you go. All right, so here we go. Studying with Intention, August 22nd. Okay, here's the little quote they have from Thomas Trenaher, and it's from the book called Centuries, I guess. Okay, it is not sufficient for us to study the most excellent things unless we do it in the most excellent of manners. And that is impossible to find until we are guided thereunto by the most excellent end. That's fascinating. Okay. It is no good expecting that we will improve by our research unless our subject is near to our hearts. See? Okay, guys, this is getting deep. If study is motivated by anything except from the heart, a good deal of resentment and impatience will enter into our work. Each field of knowledge has its own pathways and natural growths. If we approach the unknown field with respect and set ourselves to discover where those paths lead us, then we may discover some interesting things. Study is not a one-way street. However, as we direct our attention towards the object of our study, so too will something come back towards us, meeting and melting with the knowledge that we already have and creating a new synthesis of understanding. Our most excellent end, that is, the intentions that underline our study, is critical. Most of us study to improve our condition in some way, to find a more nutritive job, to extend our horizons, to train in a skill or interest that we already enjoy, to catch up with education that we failed to receive when we were younger. Whether our intention, the most important factor is how our soul and integrity are involved. But then she has a beautiful little quote here on the bottom it's one of those things where she makes you think about what was just said about. What part does your study or work play in the greater continuum of life? What does it contribute? And what do you receive in exchange? Now, if you go back to the beginning of this, if you have to replay this and go all the way back to the beginning, studying with intention, which is kind of what I have here, this collection of things that is really close to my heart, are things that resonated with me. Haven, you're not talking about that right now. No, you're not. You're gonna wait your turn. Thank you. Okay. We kind of go into these spurts of, like I said earlier, it's kind of these cycles we go through. This is very similar to what she's referring to here. Studying with intention, understanding where it's all leading from, you have to understand you're going to get pushback or have a person or a thing from the knowledge that you've obtained kind of come towards you in a sense. And the one thing you have to realize when you're diving deep into understanding things that are really on your heart, you're going to go into different avenues and understandings that you may have not even thought you were going to find there, which is what they were talking about earlier in that little cliplet right there. Just respect it. Respect the unknown of what you're going to be learning. Respect the fact that your higher self and you are on the same page, and this is stuff that may or may not grow into something even more amazing. Um, and if it doesn't resonate with you at that time, it's okay. Respect it. Thank it for giving what little knowledge it could at the time, and go to something else that is what your heart is longing to look at and see and understand. The more we allow our inner selves or our higher selves to lead, the easier it is for us to not worry so much of the unknown. At least this is my perspective and my opinion. So don't take this at face value. Do your own little experiments and research on it. But I do love what she wrote there at the end. I think I'm going to reread that part because it was really something to look into. What parts of does study or work play in the great continuum of life? So, like, for that example here, like, is what you're learning really pushing forward into the path that you're really wanting to go on? Does it really contribute? What does it contribute? Is it going to give you life, or is it going to give you pain? Learning that. Those are another little conundrum there too as well. Is the stuff that you're learning really beneficial? Is it really going to help you in the long scheme of things? What do you receive in exchange? Now, that one's a little hard to answer because you can receive tons of different things in exchange as you're going through this journey of re-identifying what little things and pieces that your soul is really pushing towards. So my personal opinion, if you're not into reading it from a solid, do it from an audio perspective. Hear what the author has to say. Do audiobooks. If there is something that you've been wanting to learn and you're more of a visual person, watch a video on it, a documentary. There are so many different ways of learning. There are so many different ways to obtain and study knowledge. There is many different forms of how we can obtain this knowledge in ourselves. Whether it be through the hard work of going through each little book that pushes towards your soul, or even just going into yourselves and meditating. It's another form of knowledge. You're diving into yourselves to find the things that really resonate with you. That's a huge step for a lot of different people. Just being able to talk to your higher self. Sorry, guys. Oh my gosh. I really need to rethink this. Okay, so I think what I will probably do is we might change the time frame for this. No offense to everybody who's willing to wake up at 7:30 in the morning with us. I appreciate you guys for doing that. But I'm just noticing more and more as my kids get older. I don't know why this is popping up in my head right now, but I'm just going to tell you guys because you guys are family, and I'm going to tell you what's going on. Since dealing with this grossness that is no longer in my body, thank you, all the higher beings of this universe, I am starting to see more and more, and this is just my personal understanding that I've noticed lately, that my kids are waking up earlier and they're wanting my attention earlier. And so I'm thinking I might have to do this later in the afternoon. Or either that or try to do it towards more of the 9 o'clock area, 9 a.m. Central Time. Let me know if that feels comfortable for you guys. I'm feeling like it's a pretty decent jump from what we normally do. and actually I think it's probably the more smarter option, because then I can get everybody fed and then I can hop on here and actually give you guys my undivided attention. Not that I don't appreciate my children coming in here and giving me love. I love them doing that. It's so awesome. But I do feel like it takes away from the focus that I'm trying to put into this. I want this space to be, like I said, safe, comfortable. Some of our topics that sometimes gets from the feedback area, I don't really want to make you feel uncomfortable if a kid hops in. And so that's something that I want you guys to understand. My kids deal with my crap all the time. They've heard me use words that not everybody should be hearing. They have seen me at my worst and they've seen me at my best. And that's something that I think that a lot of us crap on ourselves about. We're like, damn, why the hell are we dealing with this right now? I don't know. And sometimes I think we forget that we're human, that we have this level of grace, that we can also change the course of where we're heading towards as well as where we're ending. And so I do want to put that out there. I think I am going to change the time. I am feeling 9 a.m. Central Time. Just because then I am able to also give attention to my beautiful children as well as to my husband. Either that, or I can do it, I think it's either going to be 9 or 10:30. I think 10:30 a.m. might be the thing, because I want my husband up in case my kids do something or need something that I can't 100% give them at that time. I think this is more of like a mom guilt moment, guys. I do apologize. But yeah, I just feel like at this moment, there's just so much going on. I don't know. I think this is probably like the best course of action, because I want everybody to be able to come here when they're 100% ready. A lot of us are not early risers. I get it. I'm very similar in that category. My son makes me an early riser. I'm so grateful for him. Or else I would probably be late for almost every single thing that I'm on right now. But yeah, I think we're going to do the 10:30 thing, guys. So next Spiritual Chatter Sunday will be at 10:30. That way I can feed all the chitlins. I can make sure that everybody's comfortable, and then so my space is comfortable and not so all over the place. So I do feel like I'm pulling, as reading this, I'm kind of understanding where she's coming from right now. You got to understand where the exchange is, why everything is the way it is. It's kind of fascinating. I'm learning just as much as you guys are, if not more. I'm grateful for you guys, and I want you guys to be able to.
Do you want to win something else?
No, baby. This is what I'm explaining where.
Remember the bunny?
Oh, yeah, we did talk about the bunny, yeah.
I think we need to have another game with the bunny.
I don't know if we can. You have to make your own account, honey.
I have an account.
No, you don't.
I have mine calendar.
Oh, well, on your phone you do. But.
Oh, my phone has.
Well, your tablet. It's kind of a tablet. Okay.
Well, I lost it at the old house. I couldn't find it.
No, you didn't lose it. But yeah, so I think, guys, we're gonna do 10:30. So be on the lookout for changes on the website, and that is where I'm gonna put the update on there. So if you guys are interested in updates or wanting to book a private reading, the website is on the bottom of the screen. www.msretc369.wixsite.com/spirit reading. If you are just wanting to browse and you're more of a Facebook person and you want to book from that angle, facebook.com/ in capital letters MSRETC. You can definitely find us there. And we're just grateful for you guys. Thank you so much for hopping on. I know I didn't put a little alert saying, oh, hey, we're going to be doing lives. I need to actually get better at that. That's my own fucking problem, not yours. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and schedule us for next week at 10:30. See how that feels out. And if I don't like it, we'll change it. We'll see how everything goes. But one thing that is consistently accurate is our Wednesday nights. If you have not been aware, I did take away Tuesday nights, only because it's really messing with my actual personal life. So we are just going to leave Tuesday nights out of it for right now, and after that we will come back to that at a different time. I'm still trying to figure out how to work that through with I'm homeschooling my kids, so it's a little bit more difficult for me to switch gears after a long day of being with my family. But Wednesday nights are already ingrained in their routine, so they really are nothing's really messing that up. So we are doing Wednesday nights still. So you have your Sundays and your Wednesdays with us. So Sunday morning next week, we are going to do it at 10:30 a.m. Central Time. I'll go ahead and I'll put the alerts here on HAPS just so I don't fudge this up, Lord willing. And then TJ the Prodigy, he does our alerts for Wednesdays for our community circle with TJ the Prodigy here on HAPS. If you go to our website, you guys can click on his little profile and you can see all of his fun stuff that he has to offer over there. He's kind of a entertainer / educator. And he loves to entertain people at the same time educate them with what he has learned. I love his perspectives. It's a wonderful thing to kind of collab with somebody who's so open-minded. So we kind of give a feminine and masculine perspective on different topics that he happens to bring up that has caught his interest. And this week, I do believe we are going back to doing birth charts. I don't know if we're finishing up Sweet Peas or if we are going with a totally different push, maybe doing his birth chart. I don't know. That's up to TJ. But at the moment, we are still doing lives with him at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. So if you are interested in being a part of that awesome thing, go to the website, and on the bottom of the homepage, you're going to see a little slideshow thing. And if you slide to the second slide, there is TJ's profile as well as my own profile. If you want to be alerted to our Wednesday awesomeness, you have to click on TJ's profile and become subscribed to him so that you can be alerted, because he is our hostess of the mostest on Wednesdays. We just collab. So, but I do live streaming with him. So you will see it on Facebook and YouTube as well as on HAPS because it's all connected. I try to make sure that everybody can still see what we've been doing. And since we're both collabing with it, it's also on my Facebook and YouTube. So you guys can also see it from there if you can't see it from anywhere else. But yeah, so next Sunday, 10:30 a.m. and this Wednesday coming up at 6:30 Central Time, we in the evening, we are going to be doing our community circle. So that is what's going to happen. I think that's what we're going to do, guys. Thank you guys so much for popping on. Thank you for the 32 eyeballs. And thank you, Di, for the beautiful award from HAPS. I appreciate it so much. You have no idea. This is such an honor. to be a part of your guys' world every Sunday and every Wednesday with TJ. I don't even know how to express how grateful I am and how honored I am to be a part of your guys' world. Thank you for taking the time to coming over here. And love and light to you all. Namaste. Blessed be. Let no harm come to anybody who's watching this video or replaying this video or have been a part of the live. I just speak peace and blessings over their souls and their higher selves and themselves as they are moving forward with these cycles of change. Let them have compassion over themselves as they keep moving forward. This week is going to be very in need of a lot of compassion and understanding, and I just want them to know that they are understood and they are respected for their feelings and the way that they think and the way that they're moving forward in things. Don't let this be a roadblock in your world. Let this be a reminder of how awesomely resilient you are as you're moving through these cycles of change. Blessed be, mote it be, let no harm come to anyone. Amen. Blessed be. All right, guys. You guys have a beautiful, beautiful day, and I will catch you on the flip side. I'll see you on Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Central Time with TJ. And I did say Wednesday. I hope I said Wednesday. Gosh, my brain. Okay, and our next live here on my area is at 10:30 in the morning on Sunday the 29th. I will be putting up that update here on Haps. You guys have a blessed day. Bye, guys. Bye, replayers. Thank you for coming on.